Hello, Blaine here, plastering for beginners. I've just finished work, and basically today's subject, and rather than you watching me be on the tools, I'm going to talk about something that needs to be spoken about now the new year's looming. And the big subject today is how to get more work as a plasterer. Okay, so I've cleaned myself up a bit. I've had a little wash, got some new clothes on. Like I said, today's topic, we're going to talk about getting more work in the game of plastering. And like I said, most of the time I do how-to videos where I'm on site. I think this one's just better spoken word to a camera, and I'll speak to you face to face. And we'll just go through different techniques, what I found useful, and through what I've found other people to find useful in getting work. And to be honest, the number one form of work for me has always been through referrals. For anyone who's decent at their job, anyone who's good plasterer, builder, chippy, anyone within that field, the number one form of work is name of word of mouth, where people refer you to their friends, to the family, and that's always been my biggest form of income, just because I've been lucky enough to have people pass my word on, pass my name on, and from there have had enough work to keep me going. And this is one of the biggest forms of getting into it, and I think the way you really get into that is by you making yourself referable in your first place. So we've got 3 tips to make yourself referable. When you're on a job, always make sure you give a good finish, which is, I'm sure, what you're doing is what you learn is why you're watching this channel. But keep the place clean. If you've made a mess everywhere, if there's plaster all over the walls, if there's plaster on the windows, plaster on the carpet, you will not be referred. It's as simple as that. You need to make sure you leave that place cleaner than when you started. So you get your hoover out, you put your dust sheets down, you make sure the place is spotless, because the worst thing is what I've found from other customers speaking about plasterers is having a plasterer who've left the place a complete pigsty. I mean, imagine it, do you know what I mean? Plaster all over the curtains, plaster on your new mirrors, it's not going to work. So you've got to make sure everything's covered up, all your windows are cleaned away from the plaster, your architraves, your skirting boards, everything's taped up before you start. You just make sure that as long as your plastering's good and the place is clean, then you will be on a winner. And the other thing to make yourself referable is to make sure you've got something to pass along. So when you've finished a job, you've got some business cards and you deliberately mention it to them. You say, if you're happy with a job, if you wouldn't mind referring me to your friends, to your family, and you ask them to pass the card along, ask them to offer your name out, and if they're happy with the job, then they'll happily do it. Do you know what I mean? That's something they'll want to do for you because you provided a service for them. And if you deliberately ask for the opportunity for you to pass these cards along, they'll be delighted to do it. But if you don't mention it and if you don't say it, they might not even think about it. So you get some business cards made up. Nothing big, nothing posh, just some simple business cards. Here's mine, for example, here's what mine look like. As you can see, very simple, easy design, nothing flashy. It's got my service, Gray's Plastering service. It's got the back, it's got the simple, it's got details to my website. And you know, it's nothing big, but it's enough where it's got your number on it, it's got your name, they pass it over, you just want a phone call. You don't want anything else. You want to speak to them over the phone, preferably face-to-face, meet up where you have a meeting, from there where you price up the job. And that is the perfect way to get a referral. And from there you keep doing it. Do a good job, pass your business cards across, start again. And just keep going that way. If you get enough of these people working, and if you get enough of these cards, they will travel around where you're living. If you're good at what you do, these cards will get spread about, but you've got to make it accessible in the first place. So that is number one. Number one business for me has been for referrals. But number 2, if you're new, if you're starting out, you know, and you've not quite got to that point yet, then I think the best thing to do, I mean, even if you're brand new to plastering and you just want to get your foot in the door, what I would recommend is you get yourself in with a decent set of builders or carpenters or anyone within the trade who needs a plasterer. And when I first got to Hastings, I'll tell you a little bit of a story. I'm from Manchester. My now wife is from Hastings. So I moved down, I didn't know anyone, I didn't have any work, and I started to ring around. I just ringing in for company work, seeing if I can get a job anywhere. So I'd ring the local plastering firm, I'd go on the Indeed.com and go on, Yellow Pages. I was looking everywhere and I couldn't find anything. So what I did, I started asking for labouring work. Anything, do you know what I mean? You have got to do anything to get your foot in the door. And from there, the first thing you've got to prove is that you are a grafter. You get in there, labouring, whatever it is, and you make sure that you work your ass off. You work harder than anyone else on that site, just so you get yourself a good name. From there, I was just labouring at the time. It was so funny because their plasterer backed out from a job. I was there just bunging stuff about, and I said, I'm a plasterer by trade. I can dot and dab this whole place. I'll have it skimmed out. I'll give you a price if you're happy with that, and we'll go from there. From there, I got that plastering job. I ended up being his full-time plasterer for a little bit, as in every little job he got, I ended up doing the dot and dabbing for it, skimming it out, because he was building extensions, he's doing big builds, and I'd end up doing all that the whole time. And this started from me just being on site as a labourer. So the second tactic to get decent amount of work is get your foot in the door with anyone who has got work coming up. Prove you're a grafter, and then from there, the opportunity will come for you to start plastering and getting your name in. So that's the second bit. That's when you start getting word named about. If you're in with builders and they'll pass your name to other builders with these business cards that you've made, you will start getting your name around the town. And if you're not comfortable doing that, that is a bit ballsy. Start a Facebook page. Take pictures of what you've done. Every job you do in plastering, make sure you take a picture. Preferably the end product. And you make sure it looks right in the picture, you've got the right lighting, but always take pictures and start a Facebook page. Every time you get a job, upload it on your Facebook page. Anything, even if it's just plastering a little doorway, put it on your Facebook page and start to develop pictures. Add all your family and friends, ask them to share it across. Because at the end of the day, we just want local work. We don't want working an hour and a half away. I can't judge you, I don't know where you live, but ideally we want all local work. So take pictures of every job, put it on your Facebook page, but then what I would recommend to take it one step further, you get an option within Facebook to promote that post. And from there you can promote it to people around your area. It's not very complicated. It takes a bit of time if you're not technically savvy, but you can promote that post to the area around you, so up to 5, 10, 15 miles, it doesn't matter. Start promoting that post, put a little bit of money into it, and start promoting what you've done, the little jobs you've done, tag where you've done it. Say I'm from St. Leonard's, did a job in St. Leonard's, tag it, and then promote it. And that way you've got people in the surrounding areas looking at your work, it's getting in front of them. And this has been proven to get me work as well. There's been a time when it's been quiet, made a Facebook page, starting posting every little job I did, posting up, getting it up there, and then making sure that I was posting the jobs on. From there, I did a promoted post, got it out to the areas around, and I was getting work from other areas. And again, we do back to the step one what we said. Once you've done a job, get your business card, pass it over, ask to be shared. If you do this enough times, that circle will keep continuing and that cycle will continue. So number one tip is make yourself referable. Make sure you've got your business cards. Make sure you've got a Facebook page, because that is also another system for you to get shared to other people's friends and families. And then from there, you can just get a good name out for yourself. So you've got to build up first. You've got to start a little. And if that's not enough, what I would recommend is then going on to the paid building sites like My Builder, rated people. I got rung by them once. and then there's a few others that I've been through. But to be honest, I found Facebook to be a lot more successful. I think these sites now are getting very saturated and very clicky. You've got to be there 5 years ago and your ratings have got to be high to get anything from that now. And it's not a bad thing. If you can get in and start getting a good name for yourself on these sites, that's great. But I do think that Facebook and the market on Facebook is a bit more real. You're getting your name out to real people around you, and you don't have to worry about competing with these other people. You don't have to worry about going into a bidding war. You're just getting your name and word out to other people around you. I believe that is probably one of the best ways to do it. You might try My Builder, or I do try them out for yourself. Everyone is different, but I think try Facebook first, give that a go, and then if that didn't work, go on Rated People, My Builder, and try these other sites. But the idea is make sure you leave the job in perfect nick, because that's what then leads you on to passing your name across, and that's when people start sharing what you've done to their friends, family, the mum, the dads, and then your name gets said around the town, and before you know it, you're doing well for yourself. So get yourself in with the right people, do a good job, which I'm sure you are doing anyway, otherwise I'm sure you won't be watching YouTube videos, you're not a cowboy. But that is what I think is the best way of getting more work in 2020. Get your name out and make sure you're doing a top job. So this is Blaine Gray, a bit of a different video today. Let me know how it is. Have you enjoyed this video? Has it been good advice? Let me know, and just let us know, for anyone else who is a plasterer, what is your best way of getting work for other people? Do you advertise on Skill Builder? Do you advertise on these sites, or is it more word of mouth? If you've got something to say, leave it in the comments so everyone can have a look. I'd love to know myself what you're finding to be the best way of getting work. Leave it in the comment section, and we're all here to help each other out. If you can do that, that would be great. So Blaine Gray, Plastering for Beginners, thank you for watching this video. Good luck with getting work, and I'll see you on the next one. Next one will be more practical based, where I'll be back on the tools, getting more plaster on the wall. Thanks a lot. See you soon.